Hey guys!
Hi.
We missed you.
I know. Apologies
Be
for
proud of
making
us.
you guys wait.
I know, I'm sorry, but be proud because we're not recording this at 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
It's only 9.
Yes, us.
It was supposed to be like 8, but...
So you guys are getting top tier content right now because we're fresh. We're
I don't know, fresh is the
we're
word.
fresh. We're moving. We're grooving.
I'm not falling asleep in my chair.
Bro,
Be
the amount of
grateful.
times that we've like almost fallen asleep.
The amount of times I was like yawning in that last episode.
I would look over
so
at Hannah.
bad.
Her eyes are half closed.
I was struggling. Like I was having to like get on my phone and scroll to keep myself like awake.
What's that called?
Because,
the dopamine hits?
Yeah, because Mia's voice is very soothing.
Okay.
So even if I want to like pay attention to what she's saying, her voice is like a lullaby.
That's crazy.
And she was like lulling me to sleep. And I was like, okay, I need some TikTok
It's like, you know, like
brain
when people
rot.
have like Subway Surfers up? Like we're just watching like someone else playing games while talking right now?
Just to keep me like focused.
No, that's fair.
Ow, I just hit my chin. That hurt. Anyway, you guys, I know we've been gone, but anytime that we take a break, you know the high and low tides are going to be good.
That's true. We have so much to choose
because there's
from.
just so much more.
So much to choose from.
So Mia, tell me, I haven't seen you either. I feel like, oh no, I saw you out in church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Barely.
Okay, stop.
I have a bone to pick with Mia.
No, it's not anything.
It is actually. It's very deep.
It's not anything. She's talking about a different person. But high tide. I don't know what we start with anymore. High tide.
Yeah, I like to end on the low.
Okay. I have a theme through all my tides. All of them, all 2 of them. I wanted a theme again because I think it's fun and I like to coordinate. But my theme, also, this is honestly the reason that I'm bringing it up is because it happened tonight. But I have found a new love for like Wawa food.
Wawa's good.
I never I just thought of it as like, I tried their mac and cheese like once, like there, and I did not enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And so I just wrote them off. And I just never really thought of like getting Wawa. People said something with their subs and stuff, and I was just like, I don't know, da-da-da. But there was one night where someone was telling me about like they had really good salads because I was really in the mood for a salad. But I'm like, there's no like fast food places. It was late at night. It was like 10. I'm like, there's no fast food places with salads.
Wawa.
I went to Wawa. Their salad was so good.
That's good.
And
was it like fresh?
Yes, it tasted.
Nice.
I loved it. And so the past like 2 weeks or whenever we last talked to you guys, that's my high tide update. Is like I've been getting Wawa all the time, and it's so like easy because they're everywhere.
That's
and then
true.
I just pull up.
It's very convenient.
I feel like I'm like sponsored by Wawa right now, and then I can just order literally whatever I want. And then you're on a whole gas station, so you can like if you want to drink, get a drink. You want a little snack? That's what I'm saying. There's everything.
Band-Aids.
There's everything. And I've been paying with cash, so it's all free. You know?
Basically.
It's literally all free. So I'm literally just getting this free food, and it's so convenient, and it's pretty fast. And I get to just kind of stand there. I get to, like, look at the pastries. It's a whole experience, and
no, it is.
I love it so much.
I remember before Wawa came to Florida, because when I was in middle school, we went up north and visited my family in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they have Wawas up there.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, oh yeah, like I can't believe you guys don't have Wawa. And I was like, what's a Wawa? I was like, that's so weird. He's
it
like,
does sound weird, yeah.
I was like, you guys don't have Wawa? And I was like, no. And he was like, that's so sad. Like Wawa is the best. And then I remember after we came back down from that trip, I saw that there was one being built in our area. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was making fun of them for it. And then ever since then, like Vlad won't get gas anywhere else.
No, same.
And I would not
I just get it there because
food.
I like how lit up it is, and I get my gas
so nice.
at night a lot of the time, so it's like just feels so safe.
I'll get snacks or drinks
so
at other gas stations,
there.
but I will not eat food at any other gas station except for a Wawa.
No, that's real. And I just feel like I've really been like depriving myself of this for a while.
The next one I need is a Buc-ee's. I've never been.
Okay, so I tried to go to, like, my family tried to go once, and we, like, looked it up on, like, the maps or whatever, went out of our way, but the one we went to wasn't a real Buc-ee's. It was, like, a Circle K that they just put Buc-ee's label on everything, which I thought was illegal. Like, how the heck? It wasn't, like, anything fancy or wasn't, like, a store. Like, it was literally just a plain gas station, but they had, like, the Buc-ee's logo on everything.
And maybe,
so I feel like
in places
like
that are
like,
closer to it, they're allowed to sell their stuff, but that's not the Buc-ee's experience.
That's what I'm saying. So I haven't gone the Buc-ee's. So like technically I've been, but I definitely haven't because I didn't get the whole experience. But anyways,
that's a good high tide. Did you have 2? I thought you said you had 2.
I have something else related to Wawa for my low tide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
See,
okay.
it all like Wawa's just been very like if you like get like a little montage of my life these past 2 weeks, it's just been all Wawa. For good and bad reasons. So stay tuned.
Okay. So I have. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking of a big high tide that I never mentioned. So first of all, my big high tide in our last episode, I talked about how my low tide was because I didn't have TikTok because I got a new phone. And then, guys, I think it was like maybe it was like a week or something like that. All of a sudden, Mia texted me. I think it was a Friday night because I think you were at Casting Grace. It was a Friday night, and all of a sudden, I get a text from Mia. She's like, "Hannah, TikTok is back. Download it. Like people are downloading it on their phone right now." And I was like, "Shut up."
Shut.
And I like to keep in mind, I
never.
Paul
Revere in that moment. I was telling everyone.
No,
I was like,
TikTok is back, and TikTok is back.
Literally.
And so I went into my phone because I never deleted the app because I was like paranoid to actually like remove it from my phone.
Yeah.
So I deleted, but the problem was like, so the app was always there, but it never would like re-download even
it's
though
almost
the
like
app
when it's
was
like
there.
offloaded, right?
Yeah,
or it's still there but not there.
Yeah, it was weird. So I tapped on it and then it started downloading and I was like, no way. So guys, I have TikTok back.
Yay!
I have TikTok back. I am so happy because literally for just like Candace Owens and her updates on pop culture,
Instagram just doesn't do it the same.
Instagram, I've very much learned that. Like, I used to make fun of people like that because I was like, guys, like, you have Reels. You know what I mean? But what I've realized is that Reels is the place where you go to find, like, certain TikToks that have gone viral that show up there.
Yeah.
Or it's just totally different content. It's just not, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's really not the same. And so I'm very happy that I have TikTok back. So that's a big one.
Real.
And then my other high tide is that today I played in a pickleball tournament with my gym. So there was, like, 13 teams. Pretty good turnout. Yeah. And me and my partner got third. So we got in top 3. I'm a little peeved.
Podium.
We did podium. I'm a little peeved because I personally feel like we deserve second. There was some weird things going on with like the scoring and stuff like that. So, but like, I'm a very competitive person.
If you did not know already.
If you didn't know, and it's not about like only important stuff, which granted, like this was a tournament, so I feel like this is a normal outlet for me to be competitive in. Yeah. But like if Mia were to be like, Hannah, I bet I could drink this Gatorade faster than you, I'd be like, bet, and like I'd start chugging because like I need to win. I have this innate need, like if someone challenges me to something, I need to win.
That's so funny.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the smallest, like, stupidest thing, but if someone presents it as a challenge or they threaten me as, like, I bet I could beat you, I'm like, I want to prove you wrong. That's right? So then put it in the terms of, like, okay, this is, like, an actual competition.
Yeah.
I was out for blood.
Medals are on the line. Yeah.
I was out for blood. Like, people at the gym were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Saturday. I'm just going to be playing for funsies. I was like, that's cool. I'm not.
Couldn't be me.
I'm out there for blood. And, like, I knew that there were some people out there that had never played before. I was spiking on them. Okay, but keep in mind, the majority of these normal games, they were only play till 9, win by 1. Like, there was no room for mercy.
There was no room.
None. And we pickled most people. It was like 9-0 most games.
No room for mercy. It's a 9-0.
Yeah.
There's no room.
There's no room. So, but we got third. So I'm happy with that. Like the people that we played against were good, and we showed up. And when I tell you my low tide, you'll be even more proud of like what I endured to get this victory. And
see, I love both of our sides are connecting.
I'm telling you, it paints a better picture, I think. Yes. It's like it's all very cohesive. Yes. Would you want to go first with your low tide?
Okay, sure.
Because that's my high tide. I won third place in a pickleball tournament, and I have TikTok.
And you have TikTok.
Those are some high tides.
I need to get a new phone.
Guys, the moment that Mia texted me that, I was like, okay, girl, time for you to get a new phone, and like you need to get it now.
Crashing out. Like she's so slow, and it's all horrible, and it's not good.
Like because the moment I was like, girl, like
even if you look at like my keyboard, I have to set it to like a one-handed keyboard because that doesn't work. Which I thought was kind of genius of me.
No, it honestly. Why didn't Vlad do that? That's crazy.
I don't know.
I seriously like. I told her, I was like, you need to get a new phone now because I don't. Number one, I don't know why it came back. I think
I
Trump did something where like he keeps like postponing this date, so like we have more access for it to longer. I'm not really sure how all of that works, or if it even is him. I have no idea. But for whatever reason, it's back. But like as we have already seen, we don't know how long it's gonna last.
It's very finicky.
So I'm like, you need to get it. You need to get on it now.
I know.
It's past due, babe.
My screen protector is so bad too. Like she's not even like helping my case.
Your phone case drives me nuts.
Oh, I don't know why. I get so much hate for this phone case, and it's actually the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Guys, I think one of the things I love about Mia is like she is that person. She is not an overconsumption girly.
Oh,
You're
no,
not.
I'm really not. If
Unless
I like
it's clothes.
Shoes and clothes.
Shoes and clothes, you'll overconsume. Which, I mean, we all have to have our outlets for overconsumption. Like, for me, it's CrossFit shoes.
Real.
And gym clothes. Like, I buy so... But at the same time, that's what I literally wear and train in and coach in every single day.
Yeah.
So that's how I justify it in my head.
Yeah, no, you're better than me. I just buy clothes.
But, like, I also can be like that with phone cases. Like, I love to get new phone cases. That's and so I love, like,
I would love to, but none can do it like this one.
But, like, guys, you don't understand.
None
her
can
phone
do it like
case
this one.
Is literally, it's got, like, a black border, and then the back is just neon yellow.
I love her.
Nothing on it.
I can find it so easily, though. Don't even play.
Fair.
It gets in the couch and literally just, like,
it's literally just a neon yellow case, and then it opens and has, like, the worst... Has the worst mirror that's supposed to be a mirror.
Okay, I don't... Actually, like, I do use that sometimes.
And then it holds her cards and stuff because like it's
holds
literally
2 cards. But the thing is, most wallet phones are so thick. Ugh, hate that. This so sleek, so thin, so you couldn't even tell there's 2 cards in here and a mirror. Don't even play. And it's not even like a slidey thing. It's so like
Mia will not accept any criticism on this phone case. Well, guys.
Never. I did try another color once.
I remember that. Wasn't it like blue or purple?
Yes, it was like a navy blue.
Yes, and you hated it.
I hated it. But they only make it in like old phones. So if I get a new phone and they don't have this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I genuinely don't know, and I don't want to.
You're gonna have to find your version. Okay, but like a new phone is worth it.
I guess
from everything that you're going through. Anyway, I'm sorry. You're low tide.
Oh, my low tide.
Wawa.
Okay, so you remember the salad?
Yeah. What kind of salad was it?
It was a chicken BLT salad. But I don't like tomatoes, so I gotta say.
Oh,
okay.
I'm not a BLT person, but that's
I'm not either. Well, actually, yes, I am. I lied. Oh. I very much am. I just hate tomatoes. I'm BLT minus the T everywhere I go.
So, babe, you're just a BL.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't get it if it's literally just like a BLT. Like, at my work, they have like a BLT, but it has like chipotle mayo and caramelized onions, and it's got like a whole, like, arugula.
Not the arugula.
It's got like a family around it. So if you remove the tomatoes, you don't even notice. I try to get with tomatoes. I try to be mature. Same with like pickles and stuff. I'm like, oh, they can't be that bad.
You don't like pickles?
I don't like pickles. Like I tried it because so many chicken sandwiches come with pickles. So I've tried to be like, probably just dramatic. Let me try it again. No, it ruins it. So I can't.
It makes me sad that you don't like pickles, but at the same time, you're the person I want to go out to eat with because I can have your pickles.
Have all my pickles.
Because I love pickles.
What's that like olive theory? But with pickles. Like one...
I hate olives.
There's like 2 people... Oh, I don't like olives either. Okay, so we don't pass, so we can't be friends.
But the thing with tomatoes is like I'm fine with... They're not a favorite, but I'll eat them. No, and like I'll put them on my sandwich, but I hate tomato soup or tomato juice. That literally makes me want to die.
Interesting. You don't like... But I think it's so funny because like... Do you like ketchup?
Yes.
Like I've seen so many memes and stuff. They're like the tomatoes I'm taking off my burger. Watch me like put ketchup on it. Like,
but I think it's the reason like why is because tomato juice and tomato soup is pure tomato, and that's all you're tasting and eating.
Ketchup is like
versus
sugar.
Tomatoes on a sandwich are in combination with everything else.
Oh yeah.
Ketchup is being put on another food.
I understand.
So it's not that necessarily I don't like.
But what about like a grilled cheese and tomato soup?
No.
Interesting.
No, I like grilled cheese. I mean, like, I'm not like a grilled cheese, but I like grilled cheese. But, like, I don't like tomato soup. It is a texture thing. It's a smell thing.
This is so interesting.
I don't like it. And then I have, like, trauma with tomato juice. But then also, like, smell and everything. It literally, like, thinking about it makes me want to die. So, that's a no. But that's and growing up, too, I have beef with BLTs because my mom, sorry, Trudy, loves BLTs. So she made them all the time. And also, like, low-key, we didn't grow up with, like, a ton of money, and they're very cheap and easy to make.
3 ingredients.
But, like, you know, so she would, like, toast the bread, the mayo, lettuce, bacon, tomato, and that's it. So, like, I would eat them growing up. I can eat a BLT and it's fine. But it's just not a favorite.
That's fair.
It's just not a favorite.
Yeah.
But so you eat a
salad,
sandwich with bread, lettuce, and bacon?
No. I only get a BLT without the T if it's with something else. Like, even like Wendy's.
Like a club.
I get the crispy chicken BLT with no tomatoes because it comes with chicken, mayo, cheese.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, only if it
okay.
comes with other things. But I just love bacon. And usually it comes with like mayo or ranch, and I also love that.
Okay, so, anyways, so your salad.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's a chicken BLT salad. No, you're good.
Okay.
Minus T. But like you can customize it. Again, great thing with Wawa. Like I was customizing everything. Like got a vinaigrette. I added a cucumber because I love cucumber.
I love cucumber.
I freaking love cucumber. Even the sandwich I was just eating had cucumbers. You would think.
You would think.
Because I love cucumbers, but I'm not a pickle girl. Anyways, so I got my salad. It's kind of late at night. I think it was after Young Adults. And I went inside, got my salad. I'm excited. I'm hungry. I get in my car, painting the picture, and I'm revving her up. And then I'm like going to back out, and then there's these 2 dogs. Like it's almost, I feel like I was in a movie. These 2 huge dogs in this car next to me like jump out and start barking like crazy. And so I look over. I don't brake as I'm looking over and backing out, and I back into this car that's going, like passing, which was just not what I wanted to experience after I just got this amazing salad. Like, this wasn't the series of events that I was hoping for.
Yeah, it kind of ruins it.
It really did. So then I just went, oh, crap. So I kind of just feeling with the vibes, because this guy was, like, in a rush. Not blaming him, but, like, also he was going so fast. Like, if he was going a normal speed, because I was barely backing out. If he saw my brake lights, he would have stopped. But, like, dude was in a rush. So he, like, scraped the side of my car as I was, like, kind of...
He hit you?
Yeah, but, like, I was backing out. So, like, I feel like technically it'd be my fault. But he was going so fast. So, like, anyways, we were just both kind of not paying attention. Because I had the dogs, all right? Yeah. And I went back out, and he, like, skids, like, off the back of my car. And so...
like, not, like, a full, like, denting collision? Like, more like your paint came off kind of thing?
Yes, kind of. So then I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. So I'm kind of feeling out his vibe. I'm like, you going to stop? He gets out of his car. I was like, oh, I hate this. Like, this older man. It's like this white truck. I was like, I hate my life. So then I walk up to him. Honestly, kind of a high tide. Lord's favor was on me. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, what do you... I don't know what you want from me. Like...
I can't say you're so sorry. That admits fault.
No, I was like, is your car okay? And he's like, no, not really. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then I didn't look at my car yet. He was like, what about your car? I was like, yeah, my car's not great. It's really not great. I'll show you pictures. But then he just looked at me and he said, it's fine. I was like, what do you mean by that, sir? And he's like, no, it's fine. He's like, my insurance just went up. Have a good night. Goodbye. And he just got in his car and drove away. So I didn't have to deal with that, but I do have like his white paint on my car and like a little hole. Which I don't even know how it happened.
A hole?
A hole.
He must have had something poking on the outside.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand how I have like a hole. Like, look, I have a hole right next to...
Maybe he had something sticking out on the side of his truck.
Yeah, so anyways, random, my poor little baby Gail. She did not deserve it. She's been through a lot.
Between Gail and your phone, man, you are struggling.
I know. But I'm loyal. What can I say? And I don't want any of them to suffer. And I'd literally drive Gail to the day I die. And I would have this phone to the day I die if they let me. But so I just felt horrible. And it just kind of ruined my salad experience. Because then I had, after something like that happens, you kind of have to drive home, like, a little somber, Like, I had to turn the radio down. I was like, I can't really be in a good mood,
jam.
Like, I gotta go home with this. So, but then I went home and the salad was amazing. So, that worked out. And again, I was fortunate with this man not, like, suing me. Even though I think it was his fault. And it's really the dog's fault, all in all. I don't know what their problem was. And there's the security guy there who, like, made snarky comments. He was like, you gotta watch out when you're backing up. I was like, I do not need this right now. Get out of my face. And
I hate it when people do that. Like, way to kick me when I'm down.
Oh my gosh,
or, like, to point out the obvious.
I was back out like that, and it's always just so fun. I thought
I'm
that's
like, you know what? I actually, like, would rather not pay attention while I drive.
Like, you know what? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I cannot stand when people do that.
So he didn't help either, and it was just not fun. And I was all on my lonesome. Already at a gas station at night, and it was this man. I was like, I hated it.
Yeah.
But we survived.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, but that was my low tide. But again,
that's a fair low. Okay, I was worried that the food was going to be the low tide, so
no.
Glad that at least was good.
I agree. I hope that doesn't happen because I'm on a kick right now.
I've had one bad meal at Wawa, but
I'm taking Netflix safe things. I'm not getting anything crazy. It's more sandwiches.
I got chicken and fries, so it was
like chicken tenders.
I remember the chicken tenders being okay. It was like
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I don't think I would ever really get hot food from there, to be honest. I don't think I would get like mac and cheese fries. I've only ever gotten like cold subs, sandwiches,
I've gotten
hoagies,
subs and like quesadillas,
salads,
from them.
quesadilla maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so guys, my low tide. It's honestly like, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sucks. So earlier in the week, I hurt my neck. I didn't do anything though. Like it didn't happen while I was working out. It didn't, like there was not a single moment where all of a sudden I was like, ooh, that hurt and now my neck is in pain, right?
Yeah.
So I was explaining to Mia what I think like aggravated the situation. So I've always like been prone. I've had neck pain since I was a kid. Like I remember when I was little, I would complain about neck pain all the time to my mom. And I remember like she took me to doctors, we got x-rays because when I was a baby, my parents got into a really bad car accident that like messed up their backs and like they had to get like stuff done for it and everything. And I, by the grace of God, was protected. Like they said that nothing was wrong with me and my car seat was like really good and protected me. But I swear like we've always kind of thought that like maybe something did it or whatever. Yeah. So I've always had neck pain since I was a kid. I remember I feel like I was in like 3rd grade and I would just have chronic neck pain.
Yeah.
Ooh, ow. I'm sorry. If you hear me say ow,
now
you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
So last week, my husband came home from a trip from Louisiana for work. And when he came home, he caught something while he was up there, a bug, and he was sick. And I really did not want to get sick. So, because like he had like a high fever, he was not doing good, and I was like, I do not want to catch that, right? So I set up. We have a really nice air mattress, so I set up the air mattress and I slept on it, and I love our air mattress because it literally gets more firm, like firm as the floor. And because I've always had neck issues and I've had like lower back pain in the past and everything, I need a firm mattress. And the mattress we have now is fine. It's good, like gets the job done, like in terms of sleep, like I'm not in pain every day. But I literally, if I could choose, I would choose to sleep on, I would switch out our mattress for the air mattress. Yeah. Like that's how comfortable it is for me. Vlad likes a really soft mattress. So like we always talk about how one day, like if we get blessed enough to like invest in a sleep number, because I can make my side like really firm and he can make his soft. But anyway, so I slept on the air mattress to avoid getting sick. And the night that I went back, once he was better, to sleeping in our regular bed, I woke up with neck pain. So I'm convinced that it had something to do with that. But anyway, throughout the week, it's been getting better until today when I played pickleball. And like if you played pickleball before, it's not a super like physically intense sport, but there is a lot of shifting and there's a lot of turning. Like, so if you have lower back, knee, ankle, or neck issues, like it can definitely exaggerate those just because you make quick turns and quick decisions without really thinking.
Right.
And so I like made a quick turn and my neck didn't like it and it locked up really badly. And for the rest of my games that I played, which is why I'm partially convinced of like why I not even convinced, I was not playing as well after like my neck locked up. And I was like constantly like stretching it and moving it in between games, which I can't even do that now. My range of motion is very limited right now. And I was playing worse because I was playing really stiff. And if you play pickleball, like, you know, you cannot be stiff. You have to be very fluid and like ready to move in quick reactions. Yeah. And like there were literally times like the ball was going past me and like I couldn't just turn to get to it, because then when you have that kind of neck pain, you're also just being hesitant and more cautious in general. Because I'm not trying to like seriously like
aggravate it.
Yeah. And and I was just moving really stiff in general, which like did not help. But so like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm in a lot of pain right now. Like I was texting Vlad on my way home because he's at another conference now and he's coming home soon. And I was texting him, I was like, something is not right. Like I need to find the low tide is that the people that I've been going to for every injury I've ever had, that like after 1 or 2 sessions, it is like literal magic, it's cured. They just recently left for a trip that is out of the country. They're gone for a month.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to find someone else. I would prefer someone that does like the cupping and the scraping. I don't want just chiropractic care because I really don't think that that's going to fix the issue. Like I need cupping and scraping done. So I really want to try to find someone else that can help me, because like this is like, I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Like, which just I told me, I was like, if you don't see me at church tomorrow, it's because I literally was up all night because I can't sleep. Like, I want to cry right now. I'm in that much pain. So if you hear me, like, wince or, like, say ow, it's because if I'm, like, some movements or motions are more painful than just sitting here, which is already painful in and of itself. So I apologize. But I'm here for you guys. Because that's how dedicated I am to ATC.
Pulling through.
I am.
No,
so my other low tide, also with, like, my pickleball, is because for whatever reason I got the weirdest burn on my chest. Like my arms and my legs were exposed, no burning. I'm pretty sure I just got some good color, and I'm not a burning person. And then like, but my chest, like I was wearing just like a normal like scoop neck, you know? It looks like I'm wearing a bib. Like it's so red for no reason. And then like my face got some sun.
You look like summer though.
I'm not mad about my face.
Look,
Like, it doesn't really hurt, so, like, it's fine. Like, and even my chest doesn't hurt right now. So, like, hopefully it stays that way.
Sun-kissed glow.
And again, like, even after I got burnt the last time I played pickleball, like, on my face and on my shoulders, it took 2 days and then it was brown. Yeah. So, like, not a big deal. It's just weird.
That is odd.
And it's obviously just, like, never fun to have such an awkward tan line. Like, that one bib part of my chest is going to be darker than the rest.
You're just going to have to only wear scoop necks now?
Literally, like, I can only wear those. And, like, going to the beach,
top.
I'm going to have to, like, literally wear a bib. So the rest of me can, like, even out.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah, that's my low tide. So I'm not feeling very cash money. You know what I mean?
No,
but
I'm sorry.
It's
wish
okay.
You were feeling cash money.
It sucks because it's like when you're in that kind of pain, like I literally don't want to laugh. I don't want to talk as much. Like I literally just want to, and it kind of affects my mood. So I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm gonna be happy.
No,
this is me happy.
The most like monotone voice. But no, if I had magic cure.
But you know what? You know what'll help me feel better?
Magic beans.
The Lord.
Oh, the Lord. Love him.
I need you to bring me some manna.
Yay.
About our topic today.
Yay. Okay, so we just kind of wanted to go into, I feel like, when is spring? I know Groundhog's Day was, like, you saw his shadow.
It starts in March.
Okay, so
let's ask Siri.
In my mind, I don't know why, when it, like, we transition from, like, winter to spring, like, I feel like it's like a whole thing.
It definitely feels like it because normally February is a lot colder. The month of February has not been cold. The last couple days have been chilly, but, like, during the afternoon when the sun was out.
I went to the beach.
Like, last week it was hot.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in most years, February is a very cold month, and I always know that because like by the time it's February I'm so over the cold after January, and January was a cold month, but February heated up really quickly. But then after Groundhog's Day just groundhog.
Yeah.
Why am I doing it plural?
Groundhog
Day.
That's funny. Groundhog's Day.
Multiple.
I didn't even question you either. I was like, Groundhog's Day. That sounds right.
We have had some colder days, but it's not like. There was one day it was really cold actually, but like today it was like chilly this morning and it's chilly in the evening. Like I have the windows open in the house with like the air turned off, but it was like 70 earlier, and like when the sun is out it's nice.
Yeah.
As long as the sun is there.
Right. Get a little sunbaking.
But,
Anyways.
yeah, I'm going to look... Oh, wait, hold on. Siri.
One spring.
Okay, that's not helping me. Siri's not wanting to help, guys. First day of spring 2025. March 20th. Oh, pretty late. I didn't realize that much of March is winter.
Well, because there were 6 more weeks of winter.
I don't think Groundhog Day changes the calendar.
I think it does, Hannah. I think it changes the calendar.
I don't think Punxsutawney Phil is changing the calendar.
Punxsutawney Phil decides the fate of our seasons. Don't even play with me right now.
Just in case you needed to know, it takes place at 5:01 a.m. March 20th.
I'm celebrating. I'm setting an alarm now. 5:01 a.m.
5:01 a.m. Guys, set your phones, wake up, and it's spring.
Springtime. But... Anyway, so actually, I was, in my mind, it's spring. I don't know. I was talking to someone about, like, summer, like, preparing for summer. Like, my seasons are all off. Anyways, I really was just, my point isn't valid anymore with, like, the transition from winter to spring. But something that we did want to talk about was just the idea of change in general. The idea of transitioning in general.
Big life changes.
Big life, just movements.
And you could think, like, I feel like what I like about this topic is it applies to literally everything.
Yeah.
Getting a job, losing a job, going to school, stopping, graduating school, switching, deciding to drop out,
homes,
moving,
like cities,
changing careers.
It's all
getting a pet for the first, like getting your first pet, like literally getting into a new relationship. Leaving a relationship, like there are so many things that
change is just such a big part of life.
It's huge
and it's inevitable.
And you have you have to be able to navigate it and handle it well, because if, like, I know for a lot of us, like, a lot of people don't like change, and that's very normal to feel comfortable in your routine and the way things are and want them to stay that way.
Yeah.
And it's not bad to like that, but at the same time, we have to know how to navigate change well, because it is inevitable.
Right.
And if you are unable to adapt to change well, I feel like you're going to make life a lot harder on yourself.
Yeah.
And that transition of change is going to be so much harder.
Yeah. Like, if you let it beat you down, it will.
And more stressful. Like, it will absolutely be more stressful.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there's ways to navigate it and make it easier on yourself, you know?
For sure, yeah. And obviously we want to talk about it in, like, the spiritual aspect as well. Like, how can we trust in God during change, during those hard times where, you know, you feel outside of your comfort zone, where you feel like your world is almost like falling, you know, like around you because it's not what you're familiar with. I was trying to, like, we were looking up scriptures, and I think honestly what was just kind of coming to mind as I was even reading scriptures was just like how relevant, like, the word of God comes into change. And I think even speaking into, like, a routine as, like, standpoint of, like, reading your Bible, you know, if you are getting into change, I feel like you could go either way when there are times like that where you could lean into your word more, lean into your devotional time, your time with God more, or you can kind of get so caught up in things, which is so easy to do, where you're so focused on how to deal with the change, how to deal with whatever's going on, that you almost stray from it a bit. But obviously, going to the word and reminding yourself of God's promises and how much bigger, you know, even He is, or just, like, your spiritual walk. I feel like that's something that just always comforts me, which some people might see as like a hindrance, you know, because it's like, oh, I don't really want to think of something that much bigger than me. You know, I don't know, like, people want to stay in their own little world. But I think when we think about, like, how much bigger the calling on your life is than some of the little things that we get caught up in, or, like, we think about the plans that God has, or the fact that, like, even, like, the idea of salvation, like, I just feel like there's so much bigger than some of the things that we get caught up in. Yeah. And so when we remind ourselves of those scriptures, it becomes a lot easier to trust in a God that you know than you don't, you know? Like, if you don't, love that. If you're not reminding yourself of God's word and His promises and what He says about your life, you know, despite whatever you're going through, it's going to be like, if you know those, it's going to be a lot easier to trust in him during those times of unknown than if you didn't know them.
Yeah.
So even, like, thinking about that idea, the verse that comes to mind, my Bible app just closed on me, but a very famous one, but, like, Jeremiah 29, like, if you find yourself in a place of confusion, discertainty, like, you don't know what's happening, you don't know where to go, like, something just, like, a change shifted, good or bad, like, you're confused, like, truly proclaiming this over your life, like, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. So when you're hopeless, when you feel like your life isn't prospering, you know, when you feel like the world is harming you, you know, like, reminding yourself of how much bigger of a God he is than your situation, you know, and kind of just feeling that truth into your life. I heard a pastor say once, when, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but, like, if you are saying, like, oh, I want to hear from God, I think that's a big thing too when it's changed, or if you're making a decision, you're like, I want to hear from God, I want to know what God has to say. Like, the answer is, like, open your Bible, you know, and, like, oh, you want to hear him audibly, read your Bible out loud.
Yeah, like that, you want God to talk to you, like, open your Bible.
Exactly, like, his word is there, and it's living, and it's so powerful, and, like, such a tool that we can use in those times, in those just you know, moments of confusion. So that's something I think, you know, when spring comes on March 20th and you're transitioning, that's something, or just whatever, again, aspect of your life you are in, big changes, small changes, they're just so prevalent. There's not one person listening to this, you know, me and Hannah, like, that hasn't gone through a big change, and
just know it's coming.
Yes, and we know, even speaking from my experience, like, I can say that it's a lot better and it's a lot easier to do it with God.
Amen.
Knowing that there is more to come, you know, and that there is someone looking out for you, there is someone fighting for you, there is someone that it says, like, if God is for you, like, nothing can be against you, like, that the creator of the world is on your side and he is fighting for you and he has a purpose for your life, like, it's a lot easier to handle change knowing that and finding comfort in that.
I also think a big part of it too, and it kind of reminds me of, like, one of the biggest changes I've gone through a lot of big changes in life. One of the biggest ones was when I decided to stop being a teacher. That was huge because there was a lot of time and prayer and thinking before that, like, that's not an impulsive decision to make, because, you know, you are changing your whole career, and the amount of guilt that I felt in that decision was a lot, because, to be honest, like, I felt so guilty that I went to an expensive school and, like, my parents paid so much money for me to go, and, like, 2.5 years later, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore, you know, and that's a really, like, I'm not going to stay in a profession that makes me miserable, and that, like, literally was not paying the bills, like, I was not able to do life comfortably, you know, and truth be told, I still do use my degree, like, education is priceless. You know, the idea of, you know, going through, putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, learning more. And I honestly use so many techniques that I did as a teacher, as a coach. So I am at least grateful that there are still things that I'm putting to practice. And I think it's going to help me more in the future as well. Like, the things that I learned being a teacher, and, like, I gained so much patience as a teacher. I gained more confidence in myself as a teacher. I became, I think, a better public speaker as a teacher. I learned how to take criticism better as a teacher. And I learned how to have more, like, those tough kind of confrontational conversations as a teacher. Like, I gained so much from it. But, like, there was all of that guilt coming with that big change. And I think another part of it too is, like, a part of why it's so important to do life with God and to rely on him through those times is because we continue to keep our identity set in him, and knowing that our purpose lies from, like, it comes from God.
That's so
right good. Because there are so many people that put their identity in solely your abilities and your ability to do them or your job, instead of reminding yourself of where your abilities come from and who gave you those talents and those gifts. And I think there are some people that might have been in my position where I genuinely felt called to be a teacher, and I believe that I was called for a certain time. You know, and I believe I was called to be the teacher of the students that I impacted. I believe I was meant to be their teacher. They were meant to be my students, and I don't regret any of that. But if I were to have had my identity set in, like, I am a teacher, and then I stopped being one, I would have fallen apart a lot more than I did making that decision. But ultimately, because I did this with God and let him navigate these life choices, my identity is in him, not in any career, not in any relationship, not in anything in life that is temporary, you know? And when we put our identity and our self-worth in the things that we do, the things that we're capable of, and when those things can be taken away, you're going to be rocked really, really hard. So I'm grateful that I leaned on God through that whole process, because it's the same thing. Like, I went through a very similar situation when I injured my back, and I could no longer really be an athlete the way that I was, and it messed with my identity a little bit. But it kind of like makes you like realize, like, even if I can never work out again a day in my life, my worth in Jesus is no less. And like, my identity is still set in him, and I still have a purpose, and there's purpose behind every change, every transition, every rock that gets thrown at us, and it's ultimately going to be used for his glory, if you allow it to. So I just think, like, that's why it's so important, because I really do feel like we can get so set, and this was what I was meant to do. And like, it was crazy too, because when I was going to school to be a teacher, I felt like I had come up with this like revelation, and when I was in college, of, oh my gosh, I was meant to be a teacher. I've loved kids. I've always loved kids. Like, I'm a natural teacher. That's kind of the way that I talk to people in general. And like, I was like, I'm going to put this into my career and I'm going to love it. And then I won best in my major, and I had like an academic scholarship, and I succeeded and did really well in school. And then I got hired like right away at my old school, and I was getting praised nonstop from coworkers, from parents. My students loved me, my administrators loved me, and they were telling me, oh my gosh, like, you're so good, you wouldn't think that you haven't been teaching for that long, like, you're so amazing. And I had such heavy imposter syndrome, because I felt like a terrible teacher, and like, I had all of these things, and then to leave all of that and be like, okay, I'm gonna change my whole life, and I'm gonna do something different, something that, like, I'm not changing because I'm not good, because other people are telling me I'm good, even though I didn't feel that way. But it was really a big, like, I had worked for years to get to that point. Even when I was in my internship, when I was still trying to become a teacher, I was getting praise from my my mentor teacher that I was working with. I was getting praise from their administration, because I was like taking over for the full day when my mentor teacher had, like, she was out one day, and the principal was like, can you just cover for the entire day? And I was like, sure, no problem. Like, threw me into the wolves, and I did great. And like, they were like, if you want a job here, like, you have one, like, right. So I had my whole identity set
the feedback
on this job, and I was like, all of these things are working out, like, this must be what I'm meant to do. And then to leave it 2.5 years later, like, even though it was my choice, it was still an identity shift. And I was like, I felt like a failure, because I was like, it's too hard, and everyone around me is telling me that I'm good at it, but I can't do it. Like, I feel like I'm drowning, right? But it's so comforting to know that, like, God was navigating this time for me and was like, your identity is not set, and you're being a teacher. And I know a lot of teachers too struggle with their identity, because you get lost in being a teacher, where it consumes you and becomes your whole being, and you are a lot more than just that. And ultimately, I've learned too that, like, if you are a natural teacher, which I believe the gift of teaching is a spiritual gift, I believe that I have that. Whether or not I'm actually working in the education system is irrelevant. And I will find any other natural outlet that God provides for me. Right now, it's through coaching. You know, and like, there's so many ways just to be a teacher in your day-to-day life. And it has nothing to do with my job title.
Yeah, I love that. Even like with the idea of like ministry, you know,
Yeah.
some people think like, oh, the only way I can serve God and use these spiritual gifts is if I'm a pastor, if I am something on like the staff of a church, or if I'm an evangelist, if I'm a missionary, you know, like that's the only way I can use these things. But the truth is, like, you can use a gift of teaching, you can use a gift of loving, you know, and just some things that might be only associated with, you know, quote unquote, like Christian career roles, like in any aspect of your life, you know, like if, you know, you're so good at like encouraging and being the hands and feet of Jesus, like random Papa John's needs that too, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different ways that
the title means very little.
Yeah, like ministry is a life, you know, like a livelihood, not just like a position title.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, but I just think what you're saying is so good too, because like life truly is just so fluctuating, so up and down, and like God is the only constant. If you think about like even the things that you think like, oh, are solid, like if it's a family thing or whatever, like there's no one that is going to not disappoint you like God will. You know, there's no one else in this world, nothing in this world that is going to be as trustworthy, as constant, as a rock for you as God, you know.
Every single thing in this life apart from Jesus is temporary and fleeting, and it's all a foundation of sinking sand. The only thing that is rock solid, steady, and never changing is God.
Amen.
And so your identity, your self-worth, you know, the area of life that you're comfortable in now, it's just inevitable. Like it is going to change. And so I feel like we just need to be open to it, you know? And I think God loves to put us in situations where we are out of our comfort zone because we rely and trust on him more, you know? And I think we learn more. It's not like you're going to grow more when you're outside of your comfort zone. And scripture talks about being weary of comfort. Yeah. It is a lie, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, and it's just, hey man, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
I'm telling you.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you.
Like I think it's just good to be open.
Right.
You know, there's certain things that like we can rely on that are never going to change, but when it comes to life, you never know where God's going to take you.
Yeah, exactly.
You really, really never know. So, change is
gonna happen, whether you like it or not.
Ain't that the truth?
Good and bad. Bad and good.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of change. Hi, guys. I feel very weird.
Why is that?
Because I am going through one of the biggest changes possible, and it's out now on social media, so I feel like majority of our listeners already know. But we have our ATC international family.
Yeah.
We
that
hear
might
you.
Not even have
we
social
love
media,
you.
You know?
And you never know, but...
You never know.
ATC is growing. The ATC fam is growing because I am pregnant.
Dude, this has been the longest 48 minutes of my entire life. I literally was just like, yeah.
No, I told...
Like, when we get to the good stuff? When we get to the news?
I told Mia that, like, I didn't want to say it right off the bat because then we would just be yapping and talking about that, and then we would miss our other high and low tides, and we would miss the manna. And I didn't want it to take away from those things. But yeah, I am currently still going through one of the biggest life changes that someone can possibly go through. Quite literally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, literally in every single possible way.
Literally.
And today, exactly as we're recording this, I am 16 weeks. So I am into my second trimester. Praise the good Lord. Praise the Lord, because let me tell y'all.
First trimester
was
rough.
RUFF. Rough. It was barking rough. It was rough. I was sick every day. I was completely exhausted. and I was still trying to like, you know, I was working my 2 jobs. We were recording late at night. You know, 2 pets to take care of. Like, I mean, life just doesn't stop,
yeah,
you know?
Of course.
Not until it's like time for a baby to be here, really. So, and like there are so many women that have so much more on their plate and do it, and I genuinely like kudos. I don't know how. I think about it and I really feel like God was like, speaking of change and like me transitioning not to be a teacher, there is no way in this living world that I could have been pregnant and a teacher at the same time.
Yeah.
The exhaustion that I felt as a teacher, the overwhelming feeling that I felt as a teacher, the drained feeling that I felt as a teacher, like adding on pregnancy on top of that, y'all. And I have many friends that have done it, and I'm like, they were like, well, I mean, you're just in survival mode. They're like, you do it because that's all you know, you have to. But like, with the hormones, like, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, the patience that it already takes to be a teacher, and then you add your hormones on top of it, there's absolutely no way. And I just would have been so, like, the amount of caffeine I needed to be a teacher, there's literally no way.
that you would have been able to
like, I'm just not, oh, my neck. I'm just not built for that. Yeah. Like, I genuinely, and I'm okay, I'm softer. I am not that tough. And that now God has put me in a wonderful work from home job. And then I coach for a couple hours in the evening, and like, I'm good. And that's what I needed.
Yeah, but I think like even the timing of it, like,
yeah, because I wasn't working from home. That wasn't my original setup.
Yeah, like that's.
I only started working from home after the storms,
yeah.
And then we got pregnant right after that. Like, when I tell y'all that God uses everything, like, He has. I can't make this clear enough because it goes perfectly with, you know, the manna, which is what obviously is kind of the whole point.
Topic, yeah.
But like, God has had such his hand on this pregnancy from the beginning, and I can't express to you guys how much I needed that. Not that I would ever expect anything less from the Lord, but like, it's one thing to know that God is there, but it's another to know and to see and have evidence.
Right.
Because I am human, and like, my faith sometimes is not as strong as I would want it to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes having that reassurance is just so helpful, especially during this time that can cause a lot of anxiety.
Right.
You know, just wanting everything to be healthy and to, you know, to go well. And God has shown me time and time again, in this pregnancy, how much I need to trust Him through this time. Whether it's like, you know, Vlad and I will have a conversation, which also, speaking of, that's another huge reason. Normally when Vlad gets sick, I do not sleep in another room. Right. I was like, I want to make that clear. Like, after, the only reason I did was because I'm pregnant, and I have zero desire. I'm very like, I want to be as healthy as possible while I'm pregnant, so that's why.
And her burning, a little weird for Hannah.
Yeah, and I don't burn. Apparently that's a pregnancy thing. It's just very, very interesting all around. So it's like, because when you're pregnant, if you don't know, like, when you're pregnant, if you get sick, you can't take medicine.
Yeah.
So, like, if you do get sick, you're fine, unless it's super, super severe. But, like, you were just forced to be miserable and ride it out.
Right.
And to be honest, like, I am already prone to getting, like, anxiety with, like, wanting to make sure everything is healthy and okay. So I was just trying to avoid it as much as possible. Especially because it wasn't a head cold. Like, he had a fever. Yeah. And I was like, there is no way I'm about to get a fever and not be able to take medicine to, like, bring it down. I'm a baby when it comes to a fever. I can't handle it. I don't handle it well. So Same. I was like, get me out of here, not trying to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Clarification.
Just clarification.
Yes and no, yeah.
But, so, like, from the beginning with this pregnancy, I have felt very, very clearly God speaking the words over me to trust Him in this time. Yeah. And that has been a very hard thing for me to do, because from the moment that you find out that you're pregnant, your entire world, like, my brain changed. Nothing else matters more than, like, keeping baby healthy and keeping baby safe. And, like, the anxiety that you feel already as like a mom to like want everything to be perfect. And so that can be really, really hard. And I was like, okay, God, like I'm going to work on trusting you. And then I'm not kidding. Like the next like 2 Sunday services, Pastor Tim was talking all about trusting God. And I was like, okay, like that's very clear. And there were like times, I think maybe it was at a sacred assembly or something like that. Like the prayer prompt was like, work on trusting God. And I was like, okay, like Jehovah, I get it. Yahweh, like I understand. And so it's been a big thing when I'm praying. Just every time I feel anxiety is literally to just practice immediately going into prayer, even if it's just in my head. And like I imagine me taking whatever my fear is and putting it at the feet of Jesus and leaving it there. I have to go through that visual for me.
Right.
And I have to immediately, the moment that an anxious thought comes, I have to like pray about it or give it to God. Or I'm just like, God, like, I trust you. I give this baby and this pregnancy to you.
Like rebuke it.
You know, yes, I have to. And it has helped a lot. And therapy has also helped a lot. And so then what was even crazier recently, this was like yesterday, maybe like 2 days ago, like very, very recent. So my last appointment was on Valentine's Day. And we got genetic testing done, which there's a lot of different types of testing that you can do. This was the most basic one that covers the most. It basically tests for any chromosomal abnormalities, so if baby is missing or has an extra chromosome, so things like Down syndrome and things of that nature. And it can also tell you the gender a little bit earlier than like what you would have if you were to have wait until you can see it via an ultrasound. And so we wanted to know, I don't think we're going to be paying for any other testing just because we're not, like, we're very young and we're healthy and we're not prone to anything. But we wanted to do the genetic testing, number one, because we wanted the gender earlier. And then number two, just to get the most, like, this one test covers the most. Yeah. And I just kind of wanted a general inkling of, like, is baby fully healthy? Yeah. And also, if they were to have some type of abnormality, I would want my hospital staff to know so we could be prepared come birth. Right. That's kind of where my head was at with that. That makes sense. Because regardless of anything that might have been different, like, we were going to love our baby no matter what. Like, this is the child that God has given us. So the baby having any kind of abnormality was not going to change our decision with anything. We just kind of wanted to know for knowledge sake. Right. So we got this testing, and like, again, we're young, we're healthy. It doesn't run in our families. I wasn't overly concerned about it, but there's always the what if. And like, you know, is everything healthy? Because different syndromes have different risks or life expectancies, and there's a lot to consider. It's nerve-wracking. And so I was having a conversation with my friend who is also pregnant, and she was having her appointment that day. And I was just praying over her because I know that she was also very anxious. And so I was praying over her, and earlier in that day we were talking about the genetic testing, and she was saying how, like, she doesn't want to get it done because it brings a lot more anxiety for her. She would rather wait to give birth and then find out. And I'm like, see, I'm the opposite. I want to know as now. Soon as possible, yeah. Which is fine. Everyone is different. So we were talking about it earlier that day, and I hadn't really felt a lot of anxiety about the testing because it had been like a week or so, and I was just kind of like, it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. But then because we had a conversation about it, I was thinking about it a lot more, so I started to feel anxious about it. So immediately I was like, God, like, I don't know when I'm getting these test results. It was supposed to be like within that week, so any day now. I was like, but I just pray for a healthy baby, whatever that looks like. I just want healthy. And like, I love and trust the child that you are blessing us with, whatever that looks like. And I was like, I just want to give this to you, and I'm trusting you. This is me. Like, I'm actively trying to give this to you. I had gotten out of my car, and I walked in, and I got the notification that the testing results were in. And earlier when I had logged on, it said that the estimated date was March 1st, which was like another week or so. Yeah. So I got them earlier than I was supposed to. So I walk into my house, I get them, the notification. And then I was nervous because I had to go to a friend to read the results because all of the results have the gender all over it and we're doing a gender reveal. So I wasn't even able to just open it right away to read if my baby is healthy or not because I didn't want to get the gender spoiled. So I texted my friend. I was like, oh my gosh, I just got my results. Like, can I come over tonight and have you read the results? And she was like, yeah, of course. But I just opened up my app where my doctor sends everything. And I love my doctor. He's amazing. And he actually put a visible comment on it that just, when I opened it, I wasn't expecting it, that just said genetic testing screening negative, which is negative. It's good.
That sounds like that's a little misleading.
That means like they did not test positive for any of the syndrome or any chromosomal abnormalities.
Yes.
And it was so crazy because I think like I really feel like God was protecting me in that moment because the thought of going to her and like waiting for her to open it and like reading through it to tell me and someone else telling me if my baby is fully healthy or if there are any complications, it's very nerve-wracking. I was very nervous for it. And then all of a sudden I get this notification because the only reason why I even opened the app was because I got 2 notifications about testing results. And I was like, oh,
that's a little weird.
Why is there 2? So I clicked on it and then I think it was accidentally starting to open the results. So I covered my phone screen and I just clicked the back button.
You have way more self-control than I would have.
And then it popped up and I just see his comment negative. And I was like, I wasn't even able to get nervous because I wasn't expecting to see the results.
There was no like build up.
There was no build up for it. It just bam, like there's your answer. And I was like, wow, gosh, like that was such a weight off my shoulders.
Yeah.
So then I was like, it was just, I don't know. It was in my mind. God was like, okay, you're trusting me, and you don't know when you're getting these results. Bam, here are the results right now. And then you're nervous about having to wait and the anxiousness of the waiting to have someone else read the results about your child. Bam, here it is right now. Your doctor didn't even tell you were going to do this. Immediately when you come home, you're not even prepared. Bam, everything is okay. I've got you. And it was like a very emotional, like I started crying and I prayed, like I like praised God after because I was just like, thank you because you're just very, very, like I don't know if I've ever gotten an immediate response to prayer like that before.
Right.
Like I've had answered prayers,
right,
but I don't think it was anything that has ever been that immediate.
Yeah.
I was in my car, I prayed this prayer, I got my stuff, I went into my house, like within 20 seconds, I get this notification. I open it, bam, it's negative.
Yeah.
Right after talking to God about these test results and trusting him no matter what happens. And it was just very clearly that God was like, my hand is over you and this child. Continue to trust me. Like, you're doing the right thing.
Praise God. Yeah.
And like, I even get emotional now thinking about it because one of the hardest lessons when we're talking about this change is even having to be open and flexible to change with the thing that you are most protective of in your life.
Right.
And like when we talk about fully surrendering to God and being able to give him
it's the last
the
thing
most
wanna...
special part of me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So yeah, there's been a lot of change. I've known since the day after Thanksgiving, so it has been a while. I'm so relieved that everybody just knows now and that I'm in my second trimester. A lot of anxiety has subsided because of that.
Healthy, yeah.
Baby is healthy. Every appointment that we have gone to, like everything looks great. So we're very, very blessed. August 9th is the due date as of right now. So we're very happy. And it's also been cool too because even Vlad was like, you know, again, stressed about money or making sure that we have everything, and like the amount of people that have already given us stuff. Like I already have like a bin of baby clothes, and my friend dropped off like a car seat and like all of these toys and so much stuff. And like a friend of mine today gave me so much maternity clothes and like we're just being blessed left and right by the people around us. And it really just goes to show, like, God takes care of his children. If he takes care of the birds, how much more is he going to take care of you? And he's such a provider. And so...
And you guys are just so loved. The baby's so loved.
The baby is so
loved.
I was we were laughing because Mia's brother-in-law is like the most excited.
He is more excited than you guys.
More
honestly.
than my family. It's crazy. But it's so sweet. We feel genuinely so blessed. And I'm so excited for this new journey. So yeah, things are going to be a little bit different.
Right.
And we're going to navigate it as we go. We're going to be flexible. We're going to be open.
Yeah.
We're going to go with God's current, baby.
Oh.
We're going to just flow down the river.
Yeah.
Mia's going to be an aunt. Well, you already are an aunt, but you're going to be an aunt to my baby.
Oh, that's funny. No, but this is incredible. And now you guys can be, like, updated along with it. All of our content
you guys are finally going to be...
Content. Like, the gender. That's so crazy.
Yes.
That, like, it's
we have a gender reveal in less than a month. My brother knows what the gender is.
That's crazy.
Him and my best friend are the secret keepers.
Got it.
Because they're helping, like, plan that aspect of it. Because, like, my mom wanted to be surprised. I think she's regretting it now. But she wanted, and I was like, you think you're struggling? I could access it on my phone.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you, even, like, covering your phone, like, it's right there.
It's right there.
You're better
Guys,
than me.
I have faced a lot of temptation in my life. This is the most temptation I've ever felt.
I believe it. I genuinely don't know how
I want...
You said less than a month. A whole...
Less than a month. So our gender reveal is on March 16th. It's like February 22nd. So like 3 weeks or whatever. It's all coming together.
Time.
Like, and it's so funny because I am not doing a gender reveal for the next baby. I'll tell you that right now. Because the waiting is crazy. And it's also just like I don't think I realized when we were like planning a wedding and everything, which also learning about myself, I hate event planning. I hate it. And I'm also not good at it.
That's so funny.
There are so many things that I can do and like it doesn't stress me out. Event planning stresses me out.
That's real.
I get very overwhelmed very quickly.
It's not like a joy for you?
No, and I think it's because like I am someone, when you present a task to me, I need it to be chunked. I don't know if this is like just the way that I learn or process things, if this is an ADHD thing because there's I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever rhyme or reason, this is just how I am. When things are thrown at me, like one big thing, I get very overwhelmed and I shut down. I need things to be chunked up, one thing at a time.
Right.
So like you can ask Maddie, at the beginning of every semester, I would have like a meltdown because when a professor would hand me their syllabus, and everything, when I'm looking at everything that I'm going to have to do for just that one class, it feels like everything is all at once. And then like, that's why I lived off my planner, because then I would plan out each assignment and I would space it out and then I would feel fine. And I would always end up doing fine. But with like event planning, it's like there's this event
all at once.
And there's no one to chunk it up. Like there's no paper, there's no list, which I guess you can create. You can create that if you're good at it, but it's a lot, and it makes.
And there's so many variables too, because like there's too many. I feel like some things when there's too many options, it's like too much. Like you could do anything. Like no, I want like at least like A, B, C, or D. Yeah.
It was the same thing with my wedding. Like I was a very hands-off bride. I was like, sounds great. Yep, do it.
Perfect.
Go ahead. Perfect. Like, I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I was not that bride that wanted to plan, like, her wedding. Like, I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was actually happening, I was like, oh, I hate this. Like, that was the first moment for me where I realized that I did not like event planning.
Funny. Yeah.
So with this gender reveal, like, I'm stressed. Even though my mom is handling, like, literally everything, bless her. Literally bless her, which I think she's excited. I hope you're excited to plan it. She's like, I hate my life right now. Especially because it's also like tax season, so I kind of feel bad. Because there's just the timing of everything. Like, I'm happy with the timing of the baby being born, because it's not going to be in tax season, and it's just like, which sounds really silly, but like...
Little things, yeah.
I want my mom to not be like...
Completely swamped
with work when like her grandbaby is here. You know? So I'm very happy about that, but the timing of majority of my pregnancy is happening during tax season, so these events are needing to be planned during this time. The baby shower will be after too, thankfully, but like working during this time and everything it's just a lot, and the gender reveal is happening right in the middle of it, but she's planning most of it, and like I'm overwhelmed and I'm not even really doing that much. Like, I'm overwhelmed, and I was like, I can't. So I'm like, for the next one, like, and I wanted to have one gender reveal party at least, you know, like, in my life to have it because I think they're cute and they're fun. But like for the next one, we're gonna get someone to like bake a cake. We're gonna do it at home.
And just do it ASAP.
Do the little things like put the cup in the cake and like find out like together privately. We'll record it and then we'll post it. Like I'm not doing this again, and we haven't even really done it yet. But like I'm not doing this again. Baby showers is different because people bring gifts to baby showers.
That is true. You don't bring gifts to gender reveal parties, do you?
No, but we're smart because we're having people, if you think it's a boy, bring diapers. If you think it's a girl, bring wipes.
I've seen that,
to get a little bit of a stock build up, but like no real gifts or anything, just diapers and wipes, just to help us because like that's what we're gonna need.
No,
that's what you're gonna be, and that's where like your money goes
for sure.
Diaper and wipes and formula if you use it. So, so that's all happening, and I'm like, but it's happening in less than a month. But yeah, dude, I could look at it right now. Because, like, I want to start buying baby stuff, but I'm not going to until I know the gender.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to buy a bunch of gender-neutral clothes.
Yeah.
If I'm going to want specific boy or girl
especially if you're
clothes.
going to know, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it's not like
and, like, I can't
waiting.
plan a nursery because I don't know what we're having yet. You know? So then, like, I can, like, have general ideas for a boy and girl, but I don't know. There's something about it, like... I feel like once I know what my baby is, then like the theme will become easier to plan rather than the idea of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Real. Yeah.
So there's just a lot that you can't do, and that's the thing, right? Because with the wedding, we had like a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Bro, we have 6 months. You know what I mean? And it's like within 6 months, the timeline is very smushed. Because you need to do the gender reveal within the right time frame. You don't want to wait too long because like we're having my full anatomy scan where you see my neck. You see baby, like which is right after our gender reveal. Right, and you don't want to wait too long because then you have to have a baby shower. But then we also like have to change this room into a nursery and like do all these house projects all within like the next 6 months. I'm in my 4th month of pregnancy. 5 months. Like, it's so much. And if I think about all of it, I'm going to spiral.
Just deep breaths. It's one day at a time.
The good news is, baby's not going to be probably using the nursery for, like, the first 6 months.
Right.
They're going to be right next to me in, a bedside bassinet. But still, I want this room to be somewhat, prepared. So, but yeah, a lot of good things. All good things. She pregnant, y'all. She pregnant. So we're going to figure it out. Our ATC fam, we love you so much. Growing with us, literally.
Yeah.
Baby's going to have an ATC onesie.
Stop.
It's going to be so cute.
ATC baby.
Little ATC baby. Little Suncoast baby. Little CrossFit St. Pete baby. Literally every little thing that I'm a part of, I'm like, I want a onesie for all of it.
No, honestly. Every interest.
So,
like Twilight onesie,
Twilight onesie for
every
sure.
fandom.
Renesmee.
Onesie.
Twilight baby.
Oh my gosh,
so funny.
AI baby.
But yeah, so what do you guys think it is, boy or girl? Mia, what do you think?
I think it's a boy.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
You're only the second person that thinks it's a boy.
Really?
Yes.
No, like the whole time, like thinking of this baby, like
you just think boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like him. Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy because from the very beginning, when it was literally just like, me and Vlad or whatever, he has been gung-ho, it's a girl.
Really?
He's convinced he's having a daughter. Convinced, right?
And
the main reason is because of how sick I was, which is like a part of the old wives' tale.
There are,
that girls are harder pregnancies than boys are, right? So I was like super sick. Like that is how I found out I was pregnant because I was sick from day one. After Thanksgiving, I thought I wasn't feeling well because of all the food that I ate. And then the next morning after Thanksgiving, I was dry heaving in the backyard, letting the dog out. And I was like, what? This is not normal. Like, this is not from Thanksgiving. We bought a pregnancy test, and I was pregnant. So, like, that's why he's convinced. But I'm also, like, I have spoken to many women who are more sick with boys.
There's so many wives.
Like, there's so, like... Every pregnancy is different. Like, the one
I'm thinking of, like, you know how, like, if you're having a girl, like, you usually have, like, more acne, more hormones. Your skin's glowing. That has to be a boy thing.
Okay, so literally,
that has to be a boy thing.
It's so funny, though, because my skin has definitely gone back and forth. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's the biggest thing with the wives' tales, is that if it's a girl, you typically have a harder pregnancy. So you're more sick, you're more tired, you don't have that glow, like, you get more acne, that kind of thing. My skin has broken out. But it's hard to tell if it's I think it's a combination, but of hormones or because there is a lot of skincare ingredients that I can no longer use. So I was using retinol, which is like saved my skin because I did have like decent amount of acne for a while, like high school and early college. And retinol saved it, but you can't use retinol when you're pregnant. So like I've been doing the same routine and I've been using that specific retinol for years, and then all of a sudden I had to stop.
Got it.
So like I think that's a big part of it too. Right. So I think my skin is finally starting to adjust, but someone else today told me that they thought I looked like I was glowing.
Yeah.
And so then it was funny because one of the other people around me that they've also been convinced that it was a girl, because not only because I was so sick, because she was like, I was nauseous, but I wasn't throwing up every day. And she had boys. And then I showed her my ultrasound, and she has a theory about which side the baby lays on. Like, she's never been wrong. And she was like, I think it's a girl. But then I saw her today, and she was like, I don't know. Like, I was so, like, gung-ho that it's a girl, but, like, you're feeling so much better now. And, like, you're glowing. She was like, I don't know. Insane. Maybe it's a boy. But, like, second trimester is also just typically the time where you start to feel more like yourself and you feel better. So, literally, like, it can go either way. I've also had 2 different dreams of finding out the gender of the baby.
That's crazy.
I have.
One for each?
One for each.
That's insane.
So, I had one dream where I got the results from the testing back, and it was all highlighted in pink. And it was saying how, like, baby girl is healthy. Baby girl is blah, 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 blah. So it was a girl. And then my most recent dream was when Maddie read the results. Yeah. And in my dream, she accidentally was like, oh, like, I can't wait for him. And she
that'd be my problem. I could never actually know. I'd slip up so fast.
I trust Maddie with my life. I don't think I could waterboard it out of her.
I love that.
Like,
I respect that so much.
She is definitely a good secret keeper, and, like, especially because she knows that I want to be surprised, even though, like, I might be tempted and I want to know. She would never ruin it for me. Yeah. Like, she protects me too much. Yeah. Like, she would stay strong. So that's why I trust her. But, like, she accidentally slipped, which is not like her in the dream. Like, but she accidentally said that it was a boy. And then, like, we were all super excited, and then we all realized, oh my gosh, we've already, like, the money has been put into this gender reveal, like, we have to go through with it.
Act surprised!
So, me and Vlad have to act surprised.
That's hilarious.
But, so I've had 2 different dreams. Both with one. And I have not felt, like, a particular, I don't have any kind of intuition more than, but my mom thinks it's a girl. My dad thinks it's a girl. That's so Vlad thinks it's a girl. Most of the people at church think it's a girl. Really? Everyone around me thinks it's a girl.
I think it's a boy.
Except for my one friend Jamie. For whatever reason, she thinks it's a boy, and you think it's a boy. My brother didn't really My brother didn't really know, because Noah was like, he's been so sweet. Like, he's like very excited about being an uncle. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know what it is, and he was like, I mean, he's like, Hannah would obviously be great with a girl, but honestly, Hannah, you would be an amazing boy mom. And I was like,
you give boy mom energy.
I kind of do. But also, like, I want my little princess.
I mean, of course.
I want both. Like, I literally, that's why I'm also very happy, because a lot of women have, like, a lot of people have preferences about what they want to have. Totally valid. I don't have any for the first.
I love that.
I, like, whatever it is, I'm genuinely going to be so happy. Like, when I think of a little mini Vladimir wearing a firefighter helmet and, like, being obsessed with fire trucks, stop it. Like, I literally want to die. But then when I think of, like, a little girl to, like, watch Disney princesses with and, like, to take her to Disney and, like, you know what I mean? Like, and thinking of, like, having, like, a little girl, like, to show, like, girls can be strong and, like, I don't know, just that whole idea, and, like, seeing Vlad be a girl dad. Stop. Like, when I see, like, stoic, strong men just melt for, like, their little girls, like, it makes me want to die. So, like, whenever I think too much about either one, I get so happy. So I have no preference. I will have a preference for the next one, because I'm going to want the opposite of whatever I have. So but at the same time, I'm like, God, like, me and Vlad have talked about it. If we get 2 boys, then we're going to try for a third to get a girl. If we get 2 girls, we're going to try for a third to get a boy. If I end up with 3 boys or 3 girls, we're done. That's so funny. And I was meant to...
We're done.
We're done.
I'm
not doing anything more than that. Then I was either meant to be a boy mom or a girl mom. Vlad's either meant to be a boy dad or a girl dad, and we're leaving it at that.
And
that is what the Lord has determined.
Has chosen for you.
I'm done after that. But no, I'm literally like, I'm finally at the point where I'm starting to allow myself to feel excited.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so much like fear and fear mongering within the first trimester of like, don't tell anyone, don't celebrate because you never know what's going to happen. And it's very nerve wracking.
Of course, yeah.
And so like we waited until I was 13 weeks to tell family. And then I was like 14 weeks when we announced it on social media, and I'm 16 today. So like I'm starting to like let myself feel the joy. Yeah. And I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And I got to hear the heartbeat today, which just made me like happy too. Yeah. So many good things.
Oh my goodness. Little baby
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like talk so much. It's just
that was this episode. That was the point. That was the whole reason I showed up today, was so that the ATC viewers.
Me literally, when I texted her, I was like, are we gonna record? She's like, yeah. When are you telling the listeners that you're pregnant?
Yes, I want them to know. They don't even know. Well,
there's been so many times where like something has happened, or like I'm feeling really sick, or like for whatever, or like why I've been more tired, and like I can't. I couldn't tell the podcast before we announced on social media because so many of those same people, like, it overlaps.
Right.
So it's just been hard because there's been so many times where I just want to talk about it and I couldn't. I apologize for yapping, but it's kind of like the biggest life update
ever.
Literally ever. So
literally ever. The biggest news ever. So
we're so excited. And sometimes I'm still in that phase right now, which is why, like, so my friend, she has, like, an at-home Doppler where you can, like, listen to the heartbeat that I got to hear today.
Yeah.
And, like, the reason, like, I love that reassurance right now is because I'm in the weirdest stage of pregnancy, in my opinion. Because, like, in the first trimester, everything just sucks. Everything literally, like, I don't have one positive thing to say.
Oh.
Besides the fact that, like, hooray, I'm pregnant. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything about the first trimester, I was barely eating. I could not keep anything down. I would wake up in the morning, I'd take a sip of water, and I'd throw up like 6 times. Everything after that made me extremely nauseous and gagging. I was falling asleep at my desk at work. I had to take a nap during lunchtime. I wasn't working out. I was working out like once a week because I literally needed to nap before going to coach.
Yeah.
I was exhausted all the time. Everything made me queasy. Your sense of smell. Remember that body armor that you had at church?
Yeah.
Guys, she was drinking a peach body armor, and it literally was killing me. Because it smelled so strong. Like, my hormones are literally crazy. Like,
did my bagel bother you?
Remember
when I had a bagel? My buttered bagel? That was kind of loud.
Yeah.
Did I know at that point?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I didn't know what the body armor thing. You told me, like, after, and I was like...
Yeah, I think you did know about the bagel. But, like...
I was like, sorry, I really needed this bagel right now.
But, like... on top of, like, your hormones are crazy. Like, I'm crying every minute, and then, like, I'm, like, maniacally laughing the next. And then I'm, like, just... There has been so many days where I was just sitting at my desk. No one's at the house. It's just me. I'm just doing my job, and I'm angry.
Sorry.
Like, I'm literally sitting there, and I'm, like, pouty face. I'm, like, like, I'm in such a bad mood. I'm like, what? Like, I woke up, I had my breakfast, my pets are being great, I'm at my work from home job. Why am I in a bad mood? I'm so privileged. And then I'm just like, I'm in a bad mood. And, like, anytime someone texted me, I was like, ew, like, I don't like them right now. For no reason. No reason at all.
That's real. That's me every other day, honestly,
So it's just been crazy. Like, nothing positive to say about the first trimester. And then the second trimester came, and, like, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, man.
Breath of fresh
but
air.
It's awkward because, like, first trimester, you feel the most pregnant, but, like, no one knows. And you have to keep creating all of these excuses.
That is crazy to think about.
It's hard. Like, everyone's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, I'm just sick. Or, oh, I'm just not feeling good. Or, no, like, whatever. Like, there was also so many Sundays that I missed because I was getting sick. I was actively throwing up. And I was like... And then, like, we went to, like, the Christmas Young Adults. And, like, I didn't participate in any of the games because I was so tired. And then her brother... in-law made these amazing ribs, but they smelled so bad to me at the time, and everyone was eating them, and I was like, I literally want to die. And then I felt bad because Vlad was like raving about his ribs and how good they are, and I knew that they were actually good. It was just pregnancy that was making me feel that way, but like I didn't eat any of them, and I felt bad because everyone was talking about it, but I'm like, if I put that in I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
So all I could eat were your sister's rolls. Bless up.
Blessings.
Bless up that she made those. So like I couldn't participate, and everyone's like, Hannah, you remember people were like, Hannah, you're not playing. I'm competitive.
I know.
I want to play in all the games.
That wasn't like
it was not like me.
I know.
And it was literally because I was so tired.
You could have been on the picture on the wall now.
And I was like, I was feeling so sick, and I was like, I can't do it. So it was tough. But like second trimester is weird because, especially because it's my first pregnancy, it takes a lot longer for it to show, for your bump to show. And I've also apparently learned that even though like I'm a smaller-ish like frame, like I don't have a ton of excess body fat to where like you can't tell is it bump or is it fat. I don't really have that, but like apparently if you have a strong core, it keeps like you don't show for as long because your abs are like keeping the uterus in from popping, which is just annoying because I'm like,
you're just too strong.
Guys, what can I say?
You're too strong.
Friggin' Wonder Woman over here. And it's funny because, like, I literally don't even have abs. So I'm like, okay. Okay. But I have a strong enough core to, like, not have a bump. Which was annoying. So, like, I still don't really look pregnant. Like, I look like I've eaten a big meal, basically. Like, I look like my normal self, a little bit bloated. That's honestly it. So I'm not really showing, and now I don't feel pregnant. I feel like myself, my energy is back, like I'm able to like work. I'm working out like 3 times a week now, trying to up it, but like I'm getting back into it slowly.
Yeah.
And I'm just overall feeling a lot more like myself, and now I'm not, but I still don't look pregnant, and it's still too early to feel baby, so I'm like, there's some days where I'm like, Hello, are you still there?
Yeah.
So, like, I love getting to hear the heartbeat because I'm like, okay, everything is fine.
Right. I'm
just having an easy pregnancy, except for the first, 2-3 months. But it's fine. Yeah. I'm good now.
No, I love that, though. And now you're just dealing with these poor neck pains. Oh, Hannah.
Gosh. And I can't even take anything for the neck pain. I can't take Advil. I can't take Tylenol. I can't put a lidocaine patch on. I can't even use most essential oils. The only thing I did was like I let the hot water from the shower beat on my neck, and I can use lavender essential oil, but that doesn't do the same as like a eucalyptus or peppermint. It doesn't have that cooling sensation. So I'm screwed. No. I'm considering the air mattress again. So I can like feel like I'm sleeping on a rock because I literally don't know how I'm going to sleep on any kind of soft mattress right now. Yeah. I don't think I'm honestly going to sleep. The thought of laying down...
Because you said it only feels good on your back, right?
I was going to say, I tried laying down today, and the only way I could was like a corpse. Like...
That's how I sleep. Like
that's how Maddie sleeps too.
Just like
hands to your flat side. On your back. Yeah. Like just your head in a very... Like you're going down a water slide. But when you're pregnant, especially... Once you get past the first trimester, you are not supposed to sleep on your back. Yeah. Because all of that weight is like putting pressure on, spine, on the baby, and like something about like your vena cava, like your big vein, like artery in your back.
Your spine can't be good.
Yeah, like it's not, you're supposed to sleep on your side. And like the thought of sleeping on my side, guys, like I'm literally in so much pain. So I'm just not going to sleep. Which is going to make the injury worse.
Can you put like a heated thing on it or something? You know how they have like a...
Yeah, I do have a heating pad. I don't know where it is. Vlad. I don't even know who would sell a heating pad this late.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Because they said like sometimes with things like with temperature change is weird with pregnancy, but I think as long as it's not applied to my abdomen, I should be fine.
Neck, yeah.
But yeah, no, guys, if anything ever goes wrong when you're pregnant, you just have to suffer.
That's crazy.
Not unless it's like severe.
I think that's not talked about enough.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
The things that are not talked about. Like, so here's a pregnancy symptom that no one warned me for. I'm congested all the time. Like, I'm constantly, and like my nose bleeds all the time. Like, What?
Interesting.
Sucks.
Sucks.
Also, pregnancy sleep is apparently worse than newborn sleep. Learn that the hard way because I'm not sleeping. It's awful. Like, I have friends of mine that have newborns, right? Or they had newborns and they had babies. And I was talking to them about how much, like, I'm not sleeping. And they were like, honestly, girl, like, pregnancy sleep for me was worse than newborn sleep. I've heard that from 3 different women. Because God said, I'm going to start preparing you now to, like, never get sleep for the next 18 years of your life.
Lovely.
And he was like, you don't get, like, you know, you would hope and think that, oh, you're pregnant, you need sleep. You're going to get the best sleep of your life before baby gets here.
Right.
No. God said, we're going to prepare you now.
Yes.
So here's some things about pregnancy sleep that I was not prepared for. Number 1, your dreams. I have had the most vivid, weird dreams. Most of them have just been weird, where I wake up and I'm like, oh, that was weird. I have had once or twice where it was a pure nightmare. And, like, it was so vivid and so real. Like, Vlad had to hold me. I was shaking. Like, I did not want to go back to sleep. It was that bad.
No.
None of them have really been particularly good. Like, this one dream where, like, he had to hold me. It was like I don't remember all of it, but, like, I was stuck on a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like, the cruise ship was being, like, raided by pirate, and people were dying all around me. And I was pregnant. And I was like, please don't kill me. Like, please don't hurt me. Like, and I couldn't find Vlad. It was so scary. Like, it was like the ship was being, like, overtaken. It was really bad. And so, like, I had this nightmare, and, like, Vlad was like, what? And I was like, I'm not okay. So, like, dreams, crazy. You're constantly tossing and turning, can't get comfortable. So now imagine with my neck pain on top of it. And then you're peeing, like, every 5 minutes. Like, I get up to pee at least 2 or 3 times now. So it's just not... Which, I mean, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to get up multiple times in the night once baby's here. So my bladder's just preparing me.
Preparing now.
But it sucks. It's really, like, I think I've gotten, like, maybe 3 genuinely good nights of sleep. And most of them were on that air mattress because of how firm it was. Like, I feel so bad, but I'm like, it's the only way I can get comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just out here trying to survive.
Struggle bussing.
I'm on a struggle bus.
Oh my
But I'm
gosh.
so blessed.
So blessed.
It could be so much worse. I'm so grateful. And ultimately, it's not suffering for no... I'm going to get a baby. So, like, literally, you can make everything 10 times worse and it's going to be worth it. So, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Sorry for yapping for literally so long.
No. They can wait. This is the best news ever. Baby Clifton 2025. And their announcements, if you guys don't follow Hannah on Instagram or just, like, look at it, their announcement photos are so freaking cute.
Maddie absolutely crushed it.
They were so good. I was obsessed.
Ruth was like, guys, I was not expecting... So many people reposted it.
Yeah.
Josiah reposted it.
No, literally everyone. This is the biggest news.
Everyone was like... Ruth was like, these photos, like, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Maddie... What was so magical about it, I was, like, talking with one of my friends, and, you know, I was having a rough morning. Like, insecurity is real, especially when you're pregnant and you have all those hormones and everything. And, again, I'm in that awkward stage where I'm, like, I'm not, like, my normal non-pregnant body, but I'm not, like, fully bumping either. It's just a little bit awkward, where things are just, like, everything still fits. It's just a little tighter. Right. You know what I mean? It just feels a little different. And I was just, like, having an insecure morning, and, like, because I want to look like I have that pregnancy glow. I want to feel beautiful to take these photos, and I really do feel like how you feel comes across in the photos. If you don't feel like you look good,
you're carrying yourself with that confidence.
Yes, like, it's going to translate into the photo. So I wanted to feel good. And, like, I eventually got over it, and, like, I felt fine. But, like, I was talking to my friend because I was, like, I was putting a lot of pressure, and I was on myself. I was, like, I just want these photos to be what I haven't been imagining them to be. And, like, I trust Maddie more than, like, anybody. Like, her photography skills have grown. For someone who doesn't do it as, like, her full-time job, like, I've seen...
You would never be able to tell. Those looked so good.
No, I mean, like, I do consider her a professional because, like, she has done weddings and stuff. as like a second like photographer.
Okay, yeah.
Well, and maybe even a lead, I can't remember. It's just not her sole job, you know what I mean? So she's not dedicating that much time and like money and equipment into this. But like she has like improved her equipment, and like I've seen the photos that she's taken, like she has improved so much, and she does put so much pressure on herself to be really good. But I was talking to my friend, I was like, I just like, you have like this, it's just like your wedding photos, like you have this image of what you want it to be, and like the thought of them not living up to that is just kind of hard. And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're probably not. Like, I overhype things in our head. She was like, you know, they're gonna be great, but they might not be exactly what you're looking for. Like, keep your expectations limited. And I was like, okay, that's fair, that's real. But Maddie, like, when I tell you the vision that I had in my head, she put it into a photo.
They were so
I
good.
had like no notes. No notes. Like, everything was perfect. Like, it made me feel angelic. It was very light and bright.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. Even like the edits on them, like it was just
and open, and like some of them had like the seagulls flying in the background, and like we looked so genuinely happy. Like I felt like I looked like I had that glow. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was actually like beautiful in these photos, and I'm like I want
coming soon onesie.
The coming soon onesie.
I was dying.
So cute. So like. So cute. She surpassed, honestly, expectations. She absolutely killed it. She deserves all the love. Like, if you guys need a photographer, you hit up my girl. DM us, and I'll give you her info so you can book with her, because she's amazing.
Honestly, so good.
So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm done. I don't have anything to do after, because I'm not going to sleep, but... I think we need to cut them loose.
I know. I mean, I could literally sit here and talk about it all night. I'm so excited.
At this point, it's literally just you guys listening to me and Mia just have normal conversations.
Honestly, we're not. This is just us talking. Yeah.
This is literally just us talking.
That's hilarious. Not so much themes. We'll get back.
But we didn't give you an episode last week. You know what I mean?
True. We had a big life update.
Shut up. Get over it.
Yeah.
You know you love it.
They do.
They do.
For sure.
I didn't even think of... No, I can't get into that right now. We'll be here for another hour. I'm going to talk to you about it once we're done recording. It's crazy. Anyway,
that's funny.
Can you imagine if we tried to record it? We used to be able to double record because...
we haven't done that in so long.
Yeah, because we're recording for an hour and 45 minutes.
LOL. Love that. You guys love it too. It's great.
Yeah, you do. All right, you guys. I hope you have a good night. I'm not going to, but I hope you do.
Okay. We rebuke that. Hannah's going to have the best night.
Mia needs to lay hands on my neck and pray for me.
We will be doing that as well. It'll be a miracle. We'll update you guys.
All right. I love you.
Much love. XOXO.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Sweet dreams.
They're listening to this at like 7 a.m.
Good night. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good midday. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.